Hey guys, welcome to part 1 of Sweetly Sanchez. I am Karen Sanchez and today we will be making pie pastry for the Dutch apple pie we'll be making. This is again part 1 of the video. This is only to show you how to make pastry dough. And I heard a lot of people want to know how to make it, so this is really good recipe that I have tried since I was 5. It's very flaky. It's my Flay-Kay Pie Crust. And we'll be making on the part 2 of the video, Dutch apple pie. So enjoy part 1 of the video, part 1, to make pie pastry, my Flay-Kay pie pastry. So let's get started! First is you're going to take your flour in your bowl here, and we're just going to kind of whisk that up a little bit with the fork. That's to puff it up a little. Then we're going to add our salt and our sugar right in there. Stir that all up. Okay, so you got that done. Now you're going to take your really cold butter. I put this in the freezer and put that right in. That's your 6 tablespoons of butter. And then with the fork, just mash that all up. Don't really use your hands in here because you want cold butter. You want everything cold to keep everything nice and chilled up. And then all you want to do is just process that a little bit with your fork. I can use 2 forks in here, it'll be fine. I can use 2. Next, I'm going to take my shortening. I put this in the freezer too. You want everything to be in the freezer. And you do that too until it resembles like crumbs. It's going to look like a crumb-like kind of thing, so that's when you know you're done doing that. You want to try to avoid touching it with your hands too much so you don't melt the butter or the shortening with your body heat. There we go. Now you have these crumbs. As you can see, looks nice and crumblicious. Next up, we're going to add ice cold water. Now I have my ice cold water in here with some ice. And you're going to add it a bit of a time. You're probably, depending on the climate in your house or the weather around where you live, you're going to have a lot of water or not a lot of water. So I'm adding about a teaspoon at a time. You can add much more. I'm just adding this so that I can be careful. And this is when the gluten, reacts a lot more when you add the water. So you want to try not to overmix, because if you overmix, it will be a tough dough and it's gonna be so fucking gross. It's gonna be until it forms like a moist ball. You can see. Okay, so I added enough water, and at this point you can touch it with your hands a little bit. And this is just to get all the flour together and not make too many crumbs. And you can put this in the refrigerator for about an hour or 2 or overnight. So there you have it, you guys. My Flay-Kay crust. Watch part 2 of Sweetly Sanchez, how to make a Dutch apple pie. And we're going to use that pie crust that I just showed you to make it. So just go to part 2 of 2. Godspeed.